What is going on, guys? This is Daniel, and with not much going on in the basketball world, I thought let's revisit the 2019 NBA Finals. So I did, and after watching the series for a second time, what stood out to me the most was the Raptors' smart off-ball movement concepts. They didn't move the ball like the 2014 Spurs, but when we watch closely, there are some key things we can learn from their offense and how it helped them beat the Warriors. So, let's get to it. Let's first start with how they nicely executed ball reversals. So we'd often see this in early offense, and so here Danny Green will swing it on top to Marc Gasol. And notice first off how the lane is open. The Raptors are in 5 out. And now on the swing, that would trigger the opposite wing to cut through, while Kawhi Leonard this time, who's in the corner, lifts up. When Kawhi catches it on the swing, he has an opportunity to attack, though here he actually swings it back to Gasol, and the same thing happens on the opposite side. Siakam cuts in, and all this player and ball movement causes Curry to lose track of his man, and Danny Green gets an open three. A simple cut and replace concept is very simple, but it's effective, and here it works again. The ball is swung to Gasol, Kawhi cuts in, and here when the Warriors try to switch, Kawhi can catch it right in the lane, and while he misses the first shot, he gets the putback. So the ball reversal typically triggers a cut, but what makes this play flexible is that the cut sometimes can turn into a down screen. So here the ball is reversed to Gasol, and Siakam does cut automatically, but here he makes a read, seeing the opportunity to set a pin down for Norman Powell, who's lifting toward the top, and here that screen pays off as Powell gets an open three. Great offense. Now, why was this screen so effective? Well, we see that when VanVleet has it on the strong side, Quinn Cook is tight to Norman Powell, prepared to defend a pin down. But when the ball is dribbled to the weak side, now naturally Cook comes over in help position. So that's why Powell is so open coming off of the screen, because when he does now, Cook is separated from Powell and he's not in good position to lock and trail. So this separation makes all the difference in the world. Now Cook gets stuck on the screen, and that's why that swing into a pin down action is effective, because the ball changes sides of the floor so quickly. One moment Cook is in help position, and the next he's trying to chase Powell over a screen. That's tough. Now here is the same action. We have a reversal on top, and then Siakam will go set a pin down, this time for Kawhi. But here, give Klay Thompson credit as he anticipates the screen and he's in position to lock and trail and fight over the top. But it still works out for the Raptors, as while Kawhi doesn't have an open three off of the pin down, he's able to drive and draw a foul. And this play, after a dead ball, the Raptors get creative. So the ball is reversed, and we still have the pin down on the opposite side, but here it's decoy action, because look at Gasol. All of his attention is on the strong side, so here it's clear it's a designed set play. Powell sets a flare screen, but here in fact he'll slip the flare screen toward the basket, and it works out as he gets a dunk. A great slip by Powell to counter the switch, and a great pass from Gasol. Anyways, I'm a big fan of what the Raptors do when they reverse the ball, and here their general principle pays off on a double team. So Kawhi is doubled, and we see that before Gasol even catches the pass, Lowry automatically cuts through, where he can cut through or set a pin down. Here he simply cuts through, attracting the help defender. VanVleet nicely lifts up, just like we saw before, and he gets an open three. And here's an example from the Warriors where they do not execute this principle. So the ball is swung to Draymond, and we see that the two players on the opposite side don't move. Cook should cut in or maybe set a pin down for McKinney, or maybe McKinney sets a pin in screen for Cook because Cook is a better shooter. This is what the Raptors would have done. But instead the ball simply goes to McKinney and he can't create anything on his own. Moving on to the next concept, shorting the pick and roll. And this concept came in handy for the Raptors, basically for Pascal Siakam. Siakam only shot 28% from 3 in the playoffs, so if he simply stood in the corner, Draymond would be able to help in the paint and clog up pick and rolls. So instead what the Raptors did quite often was put Siakam near the basket. So here VanVleet comes off the pick and roll toward the left, and Siakam goes along the baseline to the strong side. This is called shorting the pick and roll. And here it works out as VanVleet can hit Siakam, who can hit Ibaka, and Ibaka gets fouled. This works because it makes Siakam a threat. When the Raptors short the pick and roll here and Siakam catches it on the strong side, Draymond has to pay attention to him because he's 6 feet from the basket. And also, being on ball side allows Gasol still to roll down his lane, and when Looney gets hung up guarding Kawhi, that big-to-big pass is again open. And on this play, when Siakam shorts the pick and roll, he's able to catch it and get up a good shot right away. Now, when we watch this play again, we see a big part of the success was the timing of it. As the pick and roll begins, Siakam is actually on the weak side. He waits until Lowry takes a dribble until he starts moving toward the strong side, and what this does is, now Iguodala by this time is already occupied with looking to tag Gasol on the roll, so he loses track of Siakam and Siakam gets up a good shot. Compare that to this play where Kawhi is looking to use the pick and roll toward his right, and before the pick and roll even starts, we see Siakam is already on the strong side looking to short the pick and roll. And what this does is it makes the play more predictable. Now Iguodala can really focus on guarding Siakam and guarding Gasol on the roll. He's zoned in, he knows where everyone is, and when the ball goes to Siakam, we see that Iguodala pounces on him and blocks the shot. Now, what I thought was quite clever was, throughout the series, the Raptors didn't just use Siakam in that short pick and roll spot. They also used Kawhi at times. And here we see Kawhi moves toward the strong side along the baseline in the pick and roll, and here he gets the open jumper. And when we think about it, it makes sense that this would work. Even though it's Kawhi, him being in the paint and on the baseline still makes him a player to help off of in a natural pick and roll rotation. So when he moves along the baseline, Klay looks to tag the roll man, and unlike Siakam, Kawhi is looking for this mid-range jump shot, so he goes further along the baseline, and against most players, this is a shot the defense will gladly give up, but for Kawhi, this is a layup. And on this play, when Kawhi shorts the pick and roll, Klay sticks tight to Leonard, which frees up Ibaka on the roll. There is one big drawback about shorting the pick and roll, which is that the ball handler really can't drive and attack the basket here because the strong side is so clogged, and here when VanVleet does attack, we see that there is no space and he misses. But overall, I like the concept of shorting the pick and roll, particularly with a mediocre shooter like Siakam. Lastly, let's finish with a cut that not too many NBA players make, except Danny Green, so let's call it the Danny Green cut. And basically what it is he'll be in one corner, and when he sees the opportunity, he'll go corner to corner, and here he gets an open 3 out of it. Most players on this cut like to stop in the paint and look for a layup, which isn't a bad thing, but Green really doesn't like to do that, and especially here when Siakam is pressured and is not in position to make that pass right away, Green simply goes to the corner, and that's a good look. Here's another example of a good corner-to-corner cut, this time in transition. So Green sees that Draymond is ball watching, so Green can cut behind him, and he sees that there is space in the opposite corner. And actually, if a good pass was made with anticipation, Green would have had a layup on this play, but when he doesn't get the pass, good job to get to that corner, and he gets an open 3. Notably, Green has been using this cut for years, and this is a clip from the 2013 finals. Ball's in the post, LeBron is ball watching a bit, so Green cuts along the baseline to the opposite corner, and he hits an open 3. Now this is a play where the cut should have been used by 3-time NBA champion Pat McCaw, so he's being totally ignored in the corner, but I like how he cuts into the paint to make himself useful. Now when he's not open in the paint, he should continue to the corner where there's space, and he can be an outlet for Kawhi. But he doesn't, Kawhi is doubled and McCaw is running to the opposite side, and he's fortunate Kawhi is fouled. Well, there you have it guys, it's good to be back, it's good to analyze some X's and O's, and look forward to videos hopefully on FIBA and of course this upcoming NBA season. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.